Yes, yes, the Casanovians. Okay, gentlemen, gather around, gather around, gather around. I wanna put this stream together today for single guys who are in their 40s, who have got to a stage in their life where they're feeling like giving up on women, on dating, on receiving that love from the feminine. And I just think that this is a really important topic. And what I'm realizing more and more is this really is the specific person that not only I want to help, but I know that I can help extremely well. And the only reason I know this is because my typical client now falls into this bracket, right? Most of the guys who I'm currently working with in my private network, the Entourage, they're in their 40s, right? They're successful, high achieving guys who they've got a lot going for them on paper. Like they've achieved financial independence, they prioritize their health, they've got money in the bank. Like they've ticked a lot of boxes. They've done all of the things that they were told would allow them to live that incredible dating life. But this area of life, like actually being able to find a high quality woman who they can have a family with, who they can do life with, that's the area in their life which is currently lacking, and it's important to them. I was having a conversation with a guy the other day, 49-year-old guy, came out of a divorce not too long ago, and the deeper our conversation went, because there's always that surface level reason why guys want to skyrocket their dating life, right? It's like, oh, I just wanna get women, I just wanna get laid. And it's like, yeah, cool, dude. Like I've heard it all before. Like let's actually dig deeper here. Like, why is that important to you? And then the deeper we dig, it's usually the same thing. Like usually guys, they're scared of getting to the end of their lives and dying alone. They're terrified of feeling as though they have potential inside of them that is not being expressed. They might see their friends in their immediate social circle having children, going to social gatherings with their wife, and it's creating this immense sense of FOMO. And in their minds, they're like, I want to have this. Like, is it something wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Like, why can't I have this? And then they go down this negative rabbit hole where it's like, is it too late for me? Like, am I ever going to be able to change? So I wanted to put this live stream together to just inspire a lot of hope and optimism inside of you. You might have heard some of these stories before, but I'm making content every single day, and I'm doing my best to just create content for new people who are joining the channel every single day. But yeah, this is where my focus is now. Like, I really want to be focusing my attention on helping guys in this bracket, like guys in their 40s, even in their 50s. Like, I've taken guys who a lot of people would describe as no hopers, and I've completely revolutionized their reality. I've got a full series on this channel actually. I'll link it below when the live stream's finished, of my experience working with one of our Entourage guys, Mark. Full series on YouTube, taking Mark from just in a bad place in his life where he knew he wasn't attracting the women that he wanted. He felt as though he had a lot of self-limiting beliefs. He thought it was very much game over for him. And then we worked together. He became a member of the Entourage, and now he's got a long-term partner from the skills that I taught him. So I'll link that video series below, and hopefully that just inspires a lot of vicarious optimism. Like, hopefully you can see yourself in Mark and be like, right, if he's been able to do it, then I can do it as well. The best thing that I can give to you, if you're a guy and you're in your 40s and you feel as though you've just hit a wall, you're consuming a lot of content online, and it's like the more you consume, and you just get stuck in this analysis paralysis. Maybe you go down some red pill or black pill rabbit hole, and you're like, oh fuck, my whole head just feels full like a balloon. Permission is the first thing that you're lacking, right? It's the permission to act in a way that you want to act, but maybe you feel ashamed to actually try. So maybe right now you're a 48-year-old guy and you like the idea of dating younger women, maybe women in their mid-20s, right? But a part of you feels like the creepy old guy for wanting to go over to these women, extend invitations, give them compliments, because maybe you're battling with sexual shame. Maybe the guys in your immediate social circle would shame you for wanting to actually attract a younger woman because maybe all their partners are around the same age. So at the moment, you lack permission because you're not surrounded by the right people. Yeah, this is one of the big reasons why when I work with guys in the position that you're in right now, this is why they're able to get the results that they do, right? I had one guy who I worked with last year came to me, I think he was 50 or 51 years old. He'd never had a serious relationship in his life, right? Never had a serious relationship, got into his 50s, never had a serious relationship, terrified of talking to women, very much thought that it was game over for him. He worked with me, and then within a week of us working together, he approached a 25-year-old, so a woman over half his age. The two of them started a little liaison, and they're now in a long-term relationship. Now, if you'd have met this guy, we'll call him Graham. If you'd have met Graham when I met him, most people would have thought, including him, nah, there's no chance. There's no chance that this guy is going to be able to pull a 25-year-old. And the reason why his current girlfriend took an instant shine to him when he approached her was because, to quote this lady, he was giving off big dick energy. Right? In other words, he now had the permission to act in accordance with his ambition. When we worked together, he did 100 direct cold approaches, right? When he was working with me, he did 100 direct cold approaches. And this was somebody who'd never done a direct cold approach in his life. This was a guy who never had a serious relationship in his life. But what he said to me is, it's now or never. Right? I've pissed away the best part of 3 decades consuming content. I think he went to some like weird pickup artist boot camp in his early 20s. And even then, despite the accountability from the coaches, they took him to some nighttime venue. And he just pissed off. He basically ran away from the venue because he just couldn't bring himself to approach in a nighttime venue despite the accountability of all these coaches. So when he worked with me, we very much just took it slow. Right? I laid out the formula. I explained to him exactly what was going to happen. He was hesitant at first. He was apprehensive. He had a lot of self-limiting beliefs. He was thinking to himself, shit, I want to approach these younger women, but what are people going to think of me? But like I say, I know how to get results with older gentlemen now. Evidence has got the loudest voice. You just need to go over to my website, go over to my Instagram page at Casanova Dating, listen to testimonials, look at the guys who've actually worked with me. Look at, there's one of the testimonials from a guy called Jazz, 43 years old. Within a week of us working together, he started dating an 18-year-old, had this girlfriend experience. That's before we even did any in-person coaching experience. We call it the Entourage effect. So what happens when guys are accepted to work with me? They get introduced to other like-minded guys who are similar to them, right? I'm 27 years old right now, so I don't know what it's like to be a 48-year-old single guy, but I know guys who are 48-year-old. I know guys who are 52-year-olds who once upon a time thought it was game over. Now it's game on. So when guys who are in the position that you're in, where maybe you're 48 years old, you feel as though your best years are behind you, you feel as though you've pissed so much of your precious time away, when you then meet other guys who are absolutely crushing it and living rock star dating lives, it then gives you the permission and it inspires hope, right? Hope is the greatest currency. A man without hope is dead. And that's why I'm using this live stream to filter through the experiences of guys who I've personally worked with, guys who I've seen transform from where they started to where they're at now, to show you that it's not your age, it's the way that you perceive your age, right? Even if it's not true, we make it true by believing in it. So if you're telling yourself the story right now that it's game over for you, then it will be game over. But after the end of this live stream, I want you to start feeding yourself the belief that just because you've got to a certain age, it's about, for me, the reframe, right? So let's say you are a 48-year-old guy and you want to get a 25-year-old girlfriend. Rather than focus on the negatives, think about the positives. Think about the benefits of actually rising up the totem pole of age, yeah? Think of all that experience that you've stacked. Think of all of the obstacles and the challenges and the vicissitudes that you've had to overcome in your life. It's like she's going to see you now as this pillar, this mountain that her emotional waves can crash against. She's going to look towards you, and you're almost going to be able to radiate this amused mastery. Think of someone like James Bond, right? He's seen it all, he's done it all, nothing affects him anymore, right? So like that's the level that you can now approach women with. We call it justified arrogance in the Entourage. Like many of the older guys who I work with, they're absolutely crushing it, right? They've crushed it in their career, finance is on point, health is on point. But like when they want to approach women, it's like they still feel like the ugly duckling. They still feel like that younger kid inside who didn't have two pennies to rub together. So really what I help guys do is flood them with belief, like really remind them that these women who you're approaching, it doesn't even need to be stone cold sober on the streets. This is really, really important. The streets, right? Going out and approaching women on the streets, that's just a training ground. You don't stay stuck on the streets, right? You learn the skill on the streets. You get 100 direct cold approaches done ASAP. By doing 100 direct cold approaches, you're going to start to ooze that rock star confidence because belief follows action. You're going to have more belief in yourself. You're now going to have positive reference experiences. You're going to recognize that as long as your approach is on point, as long as you're doing the things that I outline in my free course. If you're not downloading my free course called Conversation Killer, download that after the live stream's finished. As long as you're approaching well with full conviction, you're leaving those women better than you found them, you're going to stack so many positive reference experiences. Maybe you'll get some phone numbers, maybe you'll get some dates. And then all it takes is one great approach with one great woman to shatter your entire belief system, right? So if you're a 48-year-old guy right now, and you've been telling yourself the story that it's creepy if you approach women who are 25, 26, 27, as soon as you do it once and she just lights up and she absolutely loves it, because like younger women, right, they don't want to be with a guy who's around their age, despite what the Western narrative is trying to brainwash women and men into believing. Like they're looking towards older guys because it projects your proclivity as a protector, right? We were speaking about this in our Entourage group coaching call yesterday. One of our guys who is about to turn 50, he was narrating a story back to us that one day he was in the gym and his friend who was 60 years old came over to him and he was like, you know what? Don't rush getting into a relationship with somebody. Like I'm 60 years old now and I've only just found my ideal woman. I think she was like 35 at the time. So I think like this is important, like being able to learn from guys who are further ahead than you, who are living a dating life that you want to be living. It inspires so much optimism and gives you so much permission. I remember one of the guys that I worked with at the start of this year, really successful guy, sold his company for a lot of money. He'd recently come out of a divorce as well. We started working together in London in February of this year. Again, same process, took him through the process that I take all my guys through, gave him the playbook, hold him accountable for his actions. Then he was out in London, he was leveraging the skills that I taught him. It wasn't an overnight fix, right? I'm not offering overnight fixes. I'm not offering magic bullet solutions. Like this is big, right? This is a complete transformation. This is a complete overhaul of your current character. And I'm not pushing you to do your best. I'm pushing you to do what is necessary, because up to this point in your life, your best is not good enough, right? I'm not saying that to annoy you. I'm saying it to trigger you, to actually wake you up and realize that if you keep doing what you're doing right now for the next decade of your life, you're going to be in the same situation. Because if you could be dating the women you wanted to be dating, if you could be living the life you wanted to be living, if you could be experiencing the romantic abundance that you want to be experiencing, you would already be doing it, right? So this is why I'm saying your best is just not good enough. So we need to stop doing our best and start doing what is necessary. Doing what is necessary is going to get you the results that you want. And this is what I push my guys to do. It's to do what is necessary, right? Whoever you've been in the past, whatever mistakes you've made, whatever fuck ups you've had, however many opportunities you've let slide, I just need you to put that behind you today and start moving forward in the right direction, not to do your best, to do what is necessary. So guy in question, worked with him in London, start of this year. Fast forward to today, he's now living the sort of dating life that even guys in their 20s would be envious of. Like he's got a rotation, to quote him, of statuesque blonde bombshells over in Eastern Europe who are really taking a shine to his suave English, like amuse mastery gentleman type of aura. It's what I'm saying. Perception's reality. Like leverage what you've got. So guy in his early 50s who's now got this rotation of 25, 26-year-olds. Graham, who I worked with last year, has now got a girlfriend who's 25 years old. Jazz, 43, girlfriend, 18 years old. Again, this has become my speciality. Like, I know how to get results because whenever I'm on calls with guys or whenever we're having a conversations, it's like I already know the questions that they're going to ask me before they even ask me. And because I've got so much evidence of guys who are in worse positions than them, and guys who are in worse positions than you are right now, because I know exactly what to do, because I know exactly how to help them, like what to say, how to say it, tell them what they need to know rather than what they want to hear, I get the results that I do. Again, evidence has got the loudest voice. Go over to my Instagram page at Casanova Dating. Go onto my website, link below. Like, it's easy for me now because I've found my speciality. I'm not coaching broke students. That's not my niche, right? There'll be plenty of other channels on social media where if you're a broke student, like there's probably guys who can help you. I'm not that guy, so maybe you'll still get value. But I'm really looking to help guys who have got to a stage in life where they think it's game over, where they don't feel as though anybody understands them. They're lacking that solid masculine support system of other guys who are just like them, who are now living the lives they wanted to be living. Like, I've got it all. It's ready made. It's here for you. And that's why I get the results that I do. So this is going to be my speciality going forwards. Like just working with guys who are at a later stage in life. They think it's game over. It's not game over. It's game on. But what I need from you is a full commitment, right? You'll get out of this process what you decide to put into it. It's not easy, right? It's really not easy. Again, I'm not trying to leverage quick fixes or magic bullet solutions. Hopefully you've got to a stage in your life where you're just sick of the bullshit marketing, like get any woman into bed in 5 easy steps. They're probably not the women that you want in your life anyway. So I know what works and I know what I'm doing, and I'm not promising you overnight success, but what I can guarantee is as long as you come along and you do everything that I say and you engage with the rest of the guys, you attend the weekly group coaching calls, you book in one-to-one calls with me, you show up to the in-person coaching, you give it 110%, you'll get to where you want to get to. And I can say it now with absolute certainty because over these 4 years, I've worked with so many guys who are in a stage in their life where they think it's game over, and I've been able to help them transform. You can watch the full video series with Mark on this channel. Again, testimonials, Instagram page, cool. Permission's what you're lacking, right? If I could just brainwash you into believing that you were God's gift to women and then your actions aligned with your ambitions, you would have the dating life that you wanted. Most of this is it's an internal battle. I'm learning this more and more. I think I've said it before, we don't have dating problems. We've got personal problems which manifest themselves into dating problems. So if you're anything like many of the guys who I work with, you're probably a chronic overthinker, right? You think too many steps ahead, you experience failure in advance, and you reject yourself on behalf of the women that you want to speak to. So it's not game over, it's game on, right? There are thousands and thousands and thousands of videos online, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of content, right? Now, watching those videos is going to take you thousands and thousands and thousands of hours to get through, and then thousands and thousands and thousands of hours to actually execute, right? This is when guys come to the realization, they see my stuff online, like, okay, this guy's been at the social game now for the best part of 14 years. I've seen his testimonials, I see the results that he gets. It's going to take me a shitload of time to put all this shit into action. So the savvy individuals are like, fuck this. I value my time more than I value money. They come along, they join the group, they get mentored by me, and they get the reality that they want. So yeah, if you're interested in actually working with me directly, I'm not taking on any new clients at the moment, but you can get put onto a wait list if that's something you're interested in. So just go to my website, you can reserve your spot today. Just fill out a few details, name, email address, so there's some other shit on there as well. But yeah, if you're interested in working with me at some point in the future, then when our doors reopen again, then you can apply. Right now, I'm focusing my attention on helping the guys who are already working with me because I just want to make those guys as rip-roaringly successful as possible. Like, my guys, they've already got rotations going, they've already got girlfriends. But what you'll find as well is the game never ends, right? Okay, Graham has got a girlfriend, that's amazing, but okay, how do you manage that relationship? How do you manage that dynamic of being in a relationship with a 25-year-old? How do you manage being in a relationship with an 18-year-old and you're 43 years old? So it's like, I'm not just teaching acquisition, I'm teaching retention, right? There's one thing getting a woman, it's another thing keeping a woman. Like, where do you actually go to find these high quality women? In fact, what I would suggest as well, I'll link this video in the description. The most recent video on my channel, it's like, I can't remember what it is. It's like, I helped 247 successful men meet their ideal partner. That video is like tailor-made for you right now. Like, I made that video with you in mind. That is like a clear blueprint for how to attract your ideal partner as a high achieving, successful guy who's got to a certain age in life where you're like, fucking hell, I'm sick of the dating apps. I don't want to be wasting my time hanging around grotty nightclubs until 3 a.m. My social circle is not flooded with the women that I want to attract. And I don't want to be DMing women on social media like a little simp. Maybe you don't even have social media. So yeah, the thing that I teach is organic attraction, right? It's actually being able to grow a set of balls, reclaim your masculinity, and go after what you want rather than settling for what you think you can get. And just let me tie up that loop that I opened before. The streets are the training ground, right? So you don't stay on the streets, right? The streets are going to give you that rock star confidence, right? They're going to the approaches that you do on the streets. They're going to teach you everything you need to know about seduction, how to open, how to close, how to deal with objections, how to build that emotional resilience. Like when women just walk past you, when they ghost you, maybe you get some phone numbers and the phone numbers flake. The streets are going to give you everything you need to become the version of you that you need to become to attract the women that you want to attract. But you don't stay on the streets, right? You don't stay on the streets. You leverage the skill set in different areas, in more socially warm environments. So maybe you go to dance classes, salsa, bachata, kazumba. Maybe you sign up to a private members club. That's a great thing that you can do if you're more of a high achieving guy. Position yourself in the environments where you're more likely to meet the quality of women that you want to attract. Other guys in our network are actually going to church. They're going to church on a Sunday because they're more likely to find their ideal partner who resonates with their beliefs and values and virtues in that environment, as opposed to trying to call approach some low-level four outside a kebab shop at 4 a.m. in Manchester. So, be strategic about where you're actually meeting these people. I think just the final thing, just detail, like clarify what it is that you really want. Like, do you want to play the field for a little while? Do you want to get some stuff out your system? Or do you want that wife-worthy woman who you can settle down and do life with? Like, I don't know you right now, but I would like to get to know you in the future. But just clarify what it is that you really want. Because I think for a lot of guys, they think they just want to be getting through as many women as possible. But they quickly realize those liaisons are fleeting and they don't create long-lasting fulfillment. So I think, just when all the noise is out the way, just sit with yourself in a quiet room for 10 minutes and just ask yourself, like, what do you actually want? Like, who is your ideal partner? What does she look like? Like, what are her beliefs? What are her values? Like, if you had a daughter together, like, do you want your daughter to inherit the characteristics that she's conveying, right? A lot of guys just think, oh, I want a woman who's hot and does everything that I say. It's like, all right, cool, but do you want your daughter to embody those characteristics? This is why we have to be strategic about the women that we're bringing into our life. This is why cold approach is so valuable, because you're just getting like instant feedback in real time. You're learning so much about different women. Like, a lot of the guys who I've got to a certain point in life now in my network, they're like, yeah, I've kind of met this type of woman before. Like, I know how she acts. Like, I know what her type of game is. And one of our guys describes it as like, is she a liability or is she an asset? I think that's a really beautiful, poignant way of describing it. Like, when you are looking for your ideal partner, is she an asset or is she a liability, right? If you're a successful, high achieving guy, you don't want a woman who's draining you of your energy. You don't want a woman who you have to babysit, who's blowing up your phone constantly or causing a lot of problems, like fires that you need to put out. No, you want a woman who brings value to your life, not just value in the bedroom, but is an actual asset, right? So asset versus liability. These are other things that you need to put in mind as well. So I really hope that this live stream has been useful. Like I say, I know exactly now who I want to serve. I know exactly who I get the best results for. And this is the direction that I'm taking my business. I'm not working with broke students. They're not the avatar that I want to help. I know very specifically who I who I want to help and who I get the best results for. It's older gentlemen, and because I've got not just the experience of working with other older gentlemen, but I've got a ready-made community of other older gentlemen who you can actually connect with, who can normalize this whole process, right? Again, I'm 27 years old. I don't have the life experience of a 50-year-old, but I've got guys in my network who do have that experience to be like, hey, I was in that position myself. Now I'm in this position. Here's the steps that you need to take. Sometimes it'll be shit. Sometimes you'll doubt yourself. Sometimes you'll have those difficult conversations at 11 p.m. On a rainy Tuesday, and you'll doubt yourself and you'll wonder, what's it all for? But it's just about going through this process, and I think just not getting to the end of your life with your best years still behind you, whatever the phrase is, can't remember, don't know. But yeah, hopefully this just inspires a lot of optimism. It's not game over, it's game on. I've worked with guys who were in far worse positions than you and who really made something of themselves. So yeah, I'll link the videos below, the video series with Mark and the video about like how to attract your ideal partner. That's a really great video. I was really proud of that one. And yeah, if you've enjoyed this, drop it a like. And then yeah, if you're interested in working with me in the future, fill out the application form. It takes about 1 minute purely just to register your interest. And yeah, I will speak with you again tomorrow, gentlemen. Appreciate all of you very much. And I really hope that this live stream has been at least 1% useful. Okay, thank you. Bye.